Ugh, this is heavy. Great Scott.
So, I don't really know what happened here. Something must be off with the flux capacitor. Anyway, fortunately, not everything is Lego in this world. These are the new sword macro lenses by Laowa. And they might be the solution for me getting back to the real world. Laowa has a track record shaking up the market with pretty unique lenses. So with the sword macro lenses, will they continue their streak? What makes these lenses special? The lens set consists of 6 lenses and covers the standard focal lengths from 15mm all the way to 180mm. You can get each lens for $1,500 or the entire set for $8,000. The build quality is very solid and pretty much as good as it could be at this price point. And even the biggest lens is not even that big nor heavy. None of these lenses weigh more than a kilogram. Something that might seem like a deal breaker is that the aperture doesn't open up as much, but it's actually not a problem at all. We will get into why a bit later. All lenses feature 77mm filter thread, except the 15mm, which has a 95mm inner thread. So if you want to use a clamp-on matte box like the Tilta Mirage, you will have to get an additional adapter. You can find a link in the video description. So with all the exterior concerns out of the way, let's talk about how these lenses actually look. But before we continue with the video, please subscribe to this channel. I mean, look at me. I turned into a freaking Lego character just to reach 10,000 subscribers before the end of this year. So if you don't want NDX to sue me or Media Division to kill me again, subscribe. The image quality coming out of these lenses is very sharp and clean. There is very low distortion and almost no chromatic aberration. This is a great trait for these macro lenses because it gives you the option to just very neutrally show a tiny detail, but it also makes them a great starting point to detune these lenses in post and give them the exact character that suits the specific shot. If you want to learn more about how that works, check out my video on optical drift. The only aspect that I don't like as much is how the lens flares look. This is a totally subjective thing, but in my opinion they look very unintentional. Luckily, with most macro shots this is not a problem, and I feel like they are quite easy to control as well. Also, if you shoot into a more dim light source, on a model for example, they don't flare as easily and you can even add your own flares in post if you want to. But let's talk about the most important and obvious aspect, the close focus. It truly is insane. I mean, of course it is, these are macro lenses after all. But I feel like I can get really close, not lose focus, and then go even closer than I think and still be able to focus on the subject. The magnification is amazing, especially on the 100mm. And this brings us back to the aperture and why it's actually not as big of a problem that these lenses are so slow. Because when you shoot macro, you get so close to the subject that the depth of field becomes so narrow, you will be thankful for every fraction of a millimeter you will get, and probably even stop down anyway. You will notice some quite heavy focus breathing, but this is also very normal with macro lenses in general, and I don't think there would even be a physical way to correct for such a massive focus range. There is definitely a lot more to say about macro lenses in general, and if you want to learn more about that, my good friend at Media Division has already made an amazing in-depth video about these lenses on his channel. Before we step back into the Lego world, I want to thank Lucas and Leonard for working day and night to create the Lego animation. Of course, they shot everything on the Laowa sword macro lenses and really liked working with them. So as a thank you to them, I let them keep the demo lenses I received for this video. Head over and subscribe to that channel if you want to see more amazing Lego stop motion. And honestly, I'm kinda sad that I don't get to keep these now. You know, these lenses allow you to enhance reality and make your viewers hyper-focused on the important details of your story. So this is why when you look through them, it's kind of like a portal into another dimension. So now that we know the ins and outs of this lens, I think I figured out how to get back home, where I don't step on Legos everywhere I go.
Here goes nothing.